Hey, gun people! Just another reason to hate the NRA. I got all kind of heat about the NRA. I was in a gun shop today, and the owners and the people working behind the counter go, the NRA don't get any money from me. I'm tired of them. They've been selling out gun owners for years. All they do is want more money to sell us out. And I agree at 100%. The NRA just let out that they want to put a ban on these bump stocks. So this is a bump stock that everybody's panicking and saying is bad. Basically, you put it on your gun. I've got a video. I'll show a little clip here of it. This slides back and forth as you're shooting. It doesn't make the gun automatic. Yeah, it makes it shoot a little faster, but it's not as accurate. It's more for fun. You're not going to be aiming and taking things out at a long distance. You're basically wasting ammo, but it's kind of fun. And unless you're a, anti-American, anti-gun loving person, you would know it's fun. But then again, if you're a pink panty liberal, then you'd be like, I'm scared. I'm worried. So this is me with a 20 round mag in my bump fire gun. Big deal. You notice I fire off a few rounds and I do 3 or 4 round burst. It doesn't spray and pray. It's up to me on how many rounds I want to fire at a time. So I think that was a 20 or 30 round magazine. Of course, now the NRA just basically caved. I don't understand why people negotiate with them. Do you see Trump going over there telling North Korea, oh yeah, you're shooting those missiles. Yeah, you know what? I agree. We shouldn't worry about it. You don't negotiate with the enemy. Liberal left is the enemy of America and freedom and the Second Amendment. They want to pick and choose the Constitution when it fits their agenda. When it doesn't, they want to change the whole country. You just don't negotiate with people like that. So the NRA folding on this like a $2 lawn chair, man, it didn't take them 2 days and they come out, oh yeah, they just want a review. In this article, they talk about they're asking. The NRA is asking the federal government to review buying restrictions. Now, they're trying to put their spin on it and say, well, Obama approved it, so therefore it's his fault. It's nobody's fault. It's the guy who used the gun wrong's fault. It's not the car's fault when people plow through them. It's not the acid fault when they throw acid in people's face. It's not the knife's fault when they stab people. It is the people who do the violent act. I just don't get it. So because of this, and as usual with every crisis, there comes an opportunity to make money. My buddy went out and bought 11 of those bump stocks. So he was smart. They were on sale. They were selling them at, I think, Midway or one of the places like that. And I think they were $130 or $120 each. And they had 11 of them. So Monday morning, as soon as he heard this guy did this, thinking ahead, he bought all 11 of them for $120 each. Today, one of those bump fire slide stops sold for $955. That was the low bid. After this bid came out, he sent me another message. One of them just sold for $1,155. He's going to sell all 11 of the ones he got for $120 for about $1,000 or $1,100 each. Great buying and selling opportunity. That's called freedom. That's called the American way. That's called being an entrepreneur. Of course, we can't say that because that's mean, Rick. The people working at McDonald's are only making $15 an hour to put 4 pickles in a stack on my cheeseburger with no cheese because they forgot the cheese. Are you kidding me? But that's not good enough. They're not going to just go after the bump stock. This is called a binary firing mechanism. And what this does is every time you pull the trigger, it fires 1 round, and when you let the trigger go, it fires a 2nd round. So instead of firing 1 round when you pull the trigger, if you pull the trigger and let it go, you fire 2 rounds. It's very accurate. It allows you to fire 2 rounds with every 1 pull of the trigger pull, but it takes 2 separate actions. One is to pull the trigger, the other is to let the trigger go. But if you practice with it, you can get pretty quick with it. These are being sold at the Franklin Armory right now for $420. I've got one on order, and you can order them at the Franklin Armory. I assume they're going to probably put these triggers on the same band list as the bump stock. But let's see how fast this guy can shoot by just pulling the trigger. You can see that was every time he pulled the trigger back and went forward, 2 rounds came out. Happens kind of quick. So those triggers will soon be banned also because the pansies and, everybody's scared of guns, scared of brass, scared of anything. Anytime the liberal philosophy is you never let a crisis go to waste, every time there's a crisis, they have to get some agenda pushed. You have to blame the Republicans. You have to blame somebody. You have to get new laws and new regulations and new government bureaucracy and new forms and new fees and new everything, because anytime somebody does something stupid, they're going to classify all people as that stupid, and immediately the government's going to come in and tell you how much you need them to save you. It's absolutely ridiculous. So as I said before, I'm not a fan of the NRA. I think they just collect money from dummies and scare everybody. Now they fold and they're calling for legislation. Anybody that asks the government to pass more laws is not conservative, is not about freedom. There's so many laws on the books. If anybody thinks that more laws would have stopped this guy, well, you are a complete fool. Because the guy was willing to kill innocent people and slaughter them and kill himself. And somehow there's people out there that think if we had more laws, we could have stopped this terrible thing. He killed 50 people in one night. They killed that over a weekend in Chicago, Detroit, all these other areas that are run by liberals with high gun control, that all these devices are already illegal in California, these other places, and they've got gun crime all the time. But you know what? Liberals don't care. Because if they can get the NRA to jump in on them and some Republicans to jump in, next thing you know, we have a few more laws on a few more good gun owners, and we can just make everybody that owns a gun into a bad guy. Ooh, Second Amendment, patriot. Those extremist Americans, patriots. All right, we'll end that there. What a shame.